portfolio rebalancing. Something that every single professional portfolio manager knows about and does, but that almost nobody in the crypto world thinks of doing. So, what is rebalancing? It's basically the process of buying or selling coins in your portfolio to re-establish the asset allocation that you have decided on. So example, if you decide that you want to have 20% of the 5 coins that we've selected earlier, if one day one of these coins doubles in value, then all of a sudden you don't have 20% in that coin anymore. You have way more. And then you don't have 20% in the other coins. You have less. So what you have to do is sell some of that coin that went up to buy back the other coins that didn't go up compared to that coin. And in this way, you want to maintain 20% of your capital in each of the coins. That's what portfolio rebalancing is. Okay, and this is something that's done in the stock market and in a lot of other markets. It's done on a consistent basis. You have portfolio manager who decides, who has a prospectus that says he has to invest 20% in stocks that are technology based, 20% in utilities, 20% in healthcare, whatever it is. When some stocks go up or go down, he rebalances by selling some and buying the others. And then when the others that he bought at a lower price go up, then he sells them to buy another that went down. And thus he's always selling the things that go up and putting in more money in things that went down. And then if the things that went down didn't go up, well, he has more of them. He makes more money now that they're going up. And the thing that went down, he had sold a bit of it earlier, so he's not losing as much as it's going down. And then he continues this cycle. So why rebalance? Because it helps you sell securities that went up compared to other securities, right? So your bigger gainers, you sell some of them. And it helps you put money in securities that are lagging, so that have not followed. Because, if they are good, not everything is going to go up and down at the same speed and at the same time. So it helps you really, take advantage of those co-movements. If something goes up, okay, well, that one went up, I'll sell some of it. That one didn't go up, I'll put some more into that one. And then when this one goes up, okay, well, I have more of it, sell some of that now. And the other one, I had less of it, so I lost less as it's going down, buy more of it at a lower price. And it really adds up. It diminishes your risk, 100%. It helps, and it diminishes your risk because you're not just holding something and you're actively, in a way, trading a bit of it, getting out at one point, getting back in, getting back out. So that actually helps in diminishing the risk of your total portfolio. It helps increase profits in choppy markets. So if the market is just moving sideways, then if you're just holding your coins, then nothing's happening. But if the market is moving sideways and sometimes your coins deviate from one another, you'll always be selling some at a high price, buying the other, selling, buying, and making little profits. So you generate more capital. Okay, so let's do an example. Okay, I've put an Excel sheet here, a little example that will make you understand how beneficial this actually is. So let's say you have a portfolio of 2 assets, Bitcoin and IOTA. And we'll do this for simplicity because if we have too many coins, there's too much calculations. But obviously your portfolio would have more. Now, let's say you're investing 10,000 and your allocation is 50% Bitcoin, 50% IOTA. Now the price of Bitcoin at T0, so time 0, is 7,000 and IOTA is 50 cents. So the quantity that you want to buy is going to be $10,000 times 50%, so $5,000 divided by 7,000, the price of Bitcoin. You want to buy 0.71 Bitcoin. And $5,000 of IOTA divided by 50 cents, so you'll buy 10,000 IOTAs. That's the quantity, so 10,000 IOTA times 50 cents is $5,000. And if I check the value of that, so the quantity times the price, I have 5,000 worth of Bitcoin, 5,000 worth of IOTA as expected for a total of 10,000. Okay. Now, this is at time 0, right? This here is at time 0. Let's put it this color. Now at time 1, things change. At time 1, we have the price of Bitcoin that dropped. So when I'm saying time 1, this could be next month, next week, or tomorrow, right? It's just another time period. The price dropped to 6,500. And the price of IOTA went up from 50 cents to 60 cents. So then what happens? If I look here, I still have the same quantities, but now I have the value of my Bitcoins is worth less. Instead of being 5,000, it's 4,600 because it dropped in price. And my 5,000 IOTA is now worth 6,000 IOTA because the price went up. So now my total portfolio is 10,600. Great, but you know what? I'm a passive investor. So I don't look at this, I just leave it. And that's cool. What did I just do? Did I insert? Okay, yeah. I'm a passive investor, so I don't care too much about this. I leave it. Then the next day, time 2, or let's say next week or whatever, the price of Bitcoin comes back to 7,000, and the price of IOTA drops back to 50,000, which is very common. Things go up and down, and they find themselves in the same location. I still have the same quantity, and that gives me the same value for each, which gives me a total of $10,000. So let's say after 2 weeks or 2 months, I still have the same value in my portfolio because the market moved sideways. Now let's say I was an active investor and I wanted to rebalance my portfolio. How would that have worked out? Well, let's check it out. I start off in the same location. So I have 10,000. I put 50% in each, which gives me this amount. Now at time 1, when this situation happens, and I end up having a lot of, IOTA and not enough Bitcoin, what do I do? Well, let's see. What is my asset allocation right now? I wanna be 50% in IOTA and 50% in Bitcoin. But right now, when I check 6,000 divided by 10,642, I'm not at 50%. I have 56% in IOTA, and Bitcoin is 44% of my portfolio. That's not right. I should sell some IOTA and buy some Bitcoin. Okay. Now, how much of IOTA should I sell? Well, how much should I have? I should have had in IOTA 50%, right? So what's 50%? 0.5 times 50% of what? Of the total amount of money that I have now, which is $10,600. 50% of that times, so that's the amount of money I should have in there. I should invest $5,300 in IOTA as well as the same amount in Bitcoin. But that's not what I have. So I should sell the difference between that. I should sell $678 worth of IOTA. Now, how much is IOTA trading at? It's trading at 60 cents now. So I divide by 60 cents. And that gives me that I have to sell 1,100. Oh, this is not, yeah, sorry. Where is my, yeah. I should sell 1,130 IOTAs. Okay, so I have to reduce my quantity now. And how much should I buy of Bitcoin? Well, I have to buy this one minus this one. I need to buy for this amount of money, $600, and I'll go. I like leaving the negative there, so it tells me that if it's not the same. So divide by the price. Is that, oops, that's not the price, that's the quantity. Divided by the price here. And that's how much I want to buy in Bitcoins. So now I'll just, add this up here. Okay, so I do that scenario, right? I do that. So by doing that, what happens? I have a new allocation. New allocation. So at time T1, we're still at time T1, right? Haven't changed. I'm going to change my quantity. Instead of having this amount of Bitcoins, I'm going to buy some more. So I'm going to be buying that plus 0.104396. I'm adding some Bitcoins. So right now I'm going to have more Bitcoins in this one. Okay. And I'm going to be selling some of my IOTAs. So I'm going to sell 1,130 and 95. So I'll have less IOTAs. In the end, I'll have the same, my portfolio is going to be the same, right? 10,642, 10,642. Still have the same amount of money. It's just I sold some IOTA, so I have less quantities of IOTA and more quantity of Bitcoin. Now look at this. The next week, at time 2, what happens? Well, Bitcoin's price goes back up. Now the thing is, I don't have this quantity. I have more Bitcoins. And IOTA's price drops. Well, you know what? I don't have 10,000. I have less because I sold a lot of it, some of it. And then look at this. Now, even though the market came back to the same location, and we have the exact same thing in our portfolio, 50% of each, okay? And again, here I would, there would have to be another rebalance. I would sell some Bitcoins now to buy some IOTAs, okay? So I would have the same value in each of them again. But instead of having $5,000 in each, I would have a little bit more. I would right now have about $5,082 in each. So even though we invested in the same objects and the market just fluctuated a bit and stayed at the same location, by me doing some rebalancing, even though the price that I initially started at and I bought at initially is the same price that they are today, I made money and I'm up money compared to somebody who didn't do anything. Okay, and how much money more? Well, I've made $165.30 more than him, over $10,000, and that's a 1.7% more. Why not? And this is only when you're looking at 2 assets. Now imagine you have way more assets. Imagine you have 20 assets, okay, or 10 assets. There's always these opportunities of one deviating and the others not. So you're selling one, you're buying some of the other. There's 2 of them going up, 2 went down, or 5 went down, 2 went up. You're selling that, you're spreading them across the lower ones, and you're always rebalancing. And something crazy happens and one goes up 40% and the other goes down 10%. You're selling this one, buying that one. Then they come back, and you're constantly doing this across a lot of coins and all the time. So it adds up. So, just doing something like this can add so much value to your portfolio. So this is something that I do in all my portfolios without a question. And I've been doing it for an extremely long time, and it's always been beneficial. For cryptocurrencies, it has added up to almost 100% of additional coins in our portfolios during the last year, which is crazy. We don't see those returns in the stock market. It doesn't add as much in the stock market. But since I've been doing it in the cryptocurrency world, when I compare the portfolio I have, if I didn't do any rebalancing, to the portfolio I have while rebalancing, I was able to generate so much more coins, so much more money by continuously rebalancing that my portfolio grew way more, right? And even when the market crashes, well, I'm constantly rebalancing and my portfolio goes down in value way less than somebody who's not doing it. So, when you're comparing the same portfolio and you're comparing just holding it versus rebalancing, all the tests prove positive, and not only theoretically, but in practice, as I have been doing it in several markets, but in crypto, it's been working the best out of all the markets that I've had it done, because the crypto world is so volatile. So you have all these deviations, and at the same time, it's so correlated as well. So things that go up, the others follow in the end, and something goes down, it follows in the end. But there's always like I don't want to say leading lagger, but they don't happen at the same time, and the moves are bigger. So it's very beneficial for doing rebalancing. Okay, so it takes a little bit more time than not doing it. It takes a little bit more effort, right? Now, you're not gonna do it like this. This was just for example. You can use my Excel sheet, and you can use some other tools that I'll show you that are gonna make it way easier for you to do.